the Yankees just can't handle guys with 4 ERAs.
Right.
They can hit guys with 7 ERAs. They can hit aces. They can't hit guys with 4 ERAs.
I joked on Twitter. I'm like, the guy with the mediocre guy with the 4 ERA is their kryptonite.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm one of your hosts, Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. With me, as always, is my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, the thing we thought was going to happen happened.
Yeah,
today.
but you can live with it. They won 3 out of 4. You move on. It's series win. That's all that matters at this point.
That is the message right there. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like the video, hit the bell so you're notified when our videos go live. Coming up on today's show, it's Fan Mail Friday. We're going to answer all your questions because you answered a lot of them. First, we're just going to discuss the game quickly. As we said on Thursday's show, there was danger of a letdown because it's not easy to sweep a 4-game series. The Yankees found that out on Thursday afternoon. The only thing I'm annoyed with is the way they lost. You know, that was the annoying part, but I'm not, you know, you're seeing some people really freaking out about this already. And you know, they're saying about Holmes, and it's like, he hadn't pitched in a few days. That play with Rizzo was weird. Just everyone calm down. They're a win away from 50 in mid-June.
If you want to be annoyed, be annoyed at the offense not getting going until the 7th inning.
Right.
The offense didn't wake up until the 7th
But then
inning.
can you really get annoyed? Because the offense was really alive for the first 3 games and they were kind of due for a clunker. I mean, it was...
Yeah, and they gave it to you. But the Yankees just can't handle guys with 4 ERAs.
Right.
They can hit guys with 7 ERAs. They can hit aces. They can't hit guys with 4 ERAs.
I joked on Twitter. I'm like, the guy with the mediocre guy with the 4 ERA is their kryptonite.
Yeah,
it's their
so
kryptonite.
Weird.
It's unbelievable.
Marsh had a no-hitter into the 7th inning against them. So that's if you want the complaint, there it is. You got to score more runs earlier on in the game.
Yep, that's it. I mean, at least, okay, I'll say Rizzo got a home run. First time since May 10th, I was actually able to put my Tony Soprano inaudible Italian noises meme up finally for a Rizzo home run. It had been over a month, so I was very happy to put that up. But
yeah, good for him for getting that hit.
Yeah,
he's had a tough couple weeks right here, so that was a big home run for him personally.
Yep. So 3 out of 4. You can't ask for better. I mean, you can ask for a sweep, but 3 out of 4 is great. They win another series, 17 out of the first 22. Let's just be
exactly
happy with
the point.
That. Yep. All right. As I said, it's Fan Mail Friday, so we're going to get right into it because you guys asked a lot of questions. So our first question, obviously from Betty, she listened to the instructions that we gave, kind of. You said anything goes, so silly questions. Bubblegum or seeds? She put in parentheses, I chew bubblegum in effort to connect with the dugout. And then she also asked, what do you think about Tommy's britches? They look more like loose fit pants this year, and it doesn't have the same ring to it as Tommy tight pants. So obviously she's talking about Tommy Kahnle and his pants not being as tight. Now, could this be a reason why he wasn't pitching so well the other night? Because he's used to having tighter pants?
His pants are usually like painted on though, so I think he needed a little bit of room. And Doug, bubblegum or seeds? I when I played baseball, I alternated between both. Seeds, I think more like a mental thing for baseball players. It just gets your mind off of being too involved in the game, and you can kind of play a little more freely. That's at least the way I took it.
I'm a seeds person. I was actually made fun of in college. This one guy that lived down the hall from me, he's like, every time I see you, you're eating sunflower seeds. I'm like, yeah. And
the only thing I don't do is dip. Like a chewing dip. I can't do that. That never felt right to me.
Yeah.
Eric S asks, where is your favorite area to sit in the stadium? I have a good answer for this one. I'm a season ticket holder. Section 236. Bleachers, left field. That's where I sit. It's right in front of the beer garden. That's right behind there. They've got like 30 taps. I've scouted this out perfectly. I think it's the perfect seats in the stadium personally. You may feel differently unless you can sit in Legends, but I've never sat there, so I don't know.
I sat in the Legends. They were pretty good, but I was down the third base line.
What was your strategy for getting Legends? Like, did
I
you
was-
actually pay for them, or did you?
I was laid off from NBC. I had a fat severance package, and I decided to spend $625 on a ticket.
There you go.
For
Okay, so
opening
I've.
day, the first opening day at the new stadium, I sat in the legend seats.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That for only $600 is impressive.
Mhm.
I've tried, like, sometimes if you get like a Wednesday afternoon game, you can try and find legend seats for like $300. That's what I've tried to attempt to do, but I've never gotten there yet. But that's, I'm assuming, what's the best seat in the stadium, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like the upper deck. I'm an upper deck person. I was there. My season tickets were there throughout the 15 years that I had them. Old stadium, new stadium combined. I did enjoy sitting in section 420A. You're nearly behind home plate.
Yeah.
And you see basically everything. And we were in the top row. So on hot days, you had a breeze because it's open behind you with the grating, and it's lovely. And I always joke when we were on the elevator, I'd be like, we're going up to the penthouse. So yeah, I like that. Thank you for the question, Eric. Next up from Aaron L. Did Dominguez accrue service time while on the 60-day? I think he was technically on the Major League IL.
Yeah, he did. He still is. He became a major leaguer last year when they called him up.
Yeah.
That started his service clock time. So any time that he's on an active roster from now until the end of his career, he's a major leaguer.
So I saw a couple of different answers to this, but now that he's down with AAA and he was assigned to AAA, he won't accrue service time while he's there.
Because he's played a less amount of games while he's in AAA. If he goes up to the major leagues this year, which I think they expect him to, he's going to start accruing major league play time again.
Yeah. So it's kind of, there's a whole murky, I don't understand the whole thing at all.
They have to make a decision within the next couple of weeks or days anyway, right? Because they have to add him onto another
they added him onto, he's with
But then
Scranton.
what's their option after that, though? When that 10 days is up, what's their option? Is it leave him in AAA?
No, it's not an option. His rehab is over. He's with Scranton. This happened yesterday or the day before. Yeah. Yep. And they put Birdie on the 60-day IL, and I think there was another move, but yeah. So he's on Scranton's team. Like, it's no longer considered a rehab thing. That happened, I think, on Tuesday, I want to say, but don't hold me to that. And then the next question actually will go into another Dominguez from Ruben. Does Jason Dominguez stay in Scranton all year long unless there's an injury? Now, this is the thing that cracks me up. You know, the Yankees were counting on someone in the outfield to get injured at some point, right? Mm-hmm. Or at least maybe even Stanton as the DH pulling something as he was running around the bases. I don't want to jinx anything. But wouldn't it be the funniest thing ever, just because it would go against what the Yankees were hoping for, that they all stay healthy? And they're like, well, we can't really, and stay healthy and productive, right? That would be almost the worst case for them, because then they're like, oh man, but like, we can't just bring Dominguez up because they want him to play full time. Yeah. They're not going to replace Grisham with him. They're not going to get rid of Verdugo for him at this point.
No, Verdugo's played well.
So it's kind of funny that it's going against everything that the Yankees probably were expecting. Like that quote from Cashman about Stanton that Stanton got pissed off about, where he's like, well, you know, he's usually hurt at some point during the year, so we have to prepare for it. And it's like, this is going to be the 1 year. Where
we'll see. I mean, even if Stanton got hurt, I don't know if they'd call Dominguez up necessarily, because it's not like they're going to bring Cole Dominguez up to be a DH 24/7. And then what are you going to sit Soto and Judge every other day? You can't do that.
Right.
I don't know what their game plan. I don't even know what their game plan for the future is, to be honest with you. If Soto doesn't resign, then there's your answer. But if Soto resigns, what's your game plan for the future then?
Yeah.
You're going to turn Dominguez into a left fielder? You're going to turn Judge into a left fielder? You know what I mean? I don't know what their game plan is. Their game plan really doesn't become clear until Giancarlo Stanton becomes a free agent in 3 years.
Right. But like I said, it would just be really funny if they were kind of hoping in the back of their heads, well, someone's going to get injured, so we'll be able to bring Dominguez back up, and then it doesn't happen. So that would just be the way, you know. Do we have, let's see, what time is it? No, let's go. We'll go to segment 2 and we'll answer more questions. But first, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, and hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. And if you'd like to be part of the next Fan Mail Friday, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description, and it isn't only for Fan Mail Friday. You get text from us. You can text us questions. I had a lot of fun texts after the way the Yankees lost on Thursday afternoon. We'll give you injury updates, roster moves. We converse with you. There's a 14-day free trial, and it's a lot of fun. Coming up next, more Fan Mail Friday.
If you're looking for tickets for just about anything, check out the app Game Time. Game Time is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and shows near you. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the moments before your event starts and even a half hour after it starts. It's a place to find last-minute seats, so if you decide to go to Yankee Stadium at 7:15 for a 7:05 start, you could still get tickets. You can also find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for hockey, basketball, concerts, comedy, theater, and even more. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app today and get $20 off your first purchase with code all caps locked on MLB. Terms apply. That's LOCKEDON MLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Make sure you watch Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest sports stories of the day. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube and the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day, and you can catch the Hometown Yankees broadcast on SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Stacey, more into Fan Mail Friday, as we got a lot of questions to run through here. Let's go to Bruce F. He asks, when one of the guys get on base, they have a variety of hand signals to celebrate that apparently have some meaning. Any way you can translate? No, that is meant to be. That is meant to be an inside the clubhouse kind of thing. Right. They're never meant to be made public.
Right. So what was the thing that they did in? Was it 2017?
There's thumbs down.
Yeah, that, thumbs and down. There was also what was the other thing that they did? There was something else, but yeah, the thumbs down was fun because that guy is amazing. I love that GIF still to this day.
But that's the only one where you'd like it was direct. You knew exactly what they were doing. Other than that, I mean, they intentionally don't tell you what they're doing. It's supposed to be the inner clubhouse kind of thing.
Right. And I love the hand signals. I love all the different handshakes and celebrations. And I mean, yeah, I have ADHD. I will remember things from 1985, but I won't remember things from 5 minutes ago. I can't remember microwave instructions. Like there are certain, and even if I heat up the same thing every day, I still have to look at the box. Like it's just something my brain does. So the fact that these guys have all these different handshakes boggles my mind. I'm so impressed that they, from 1 to 26, they have different things with all these guys. And it's like, how do you remember all this stuff?
They got it though. It's part of baseball culture, right? That's like built into it.
Yeah. Next, thank you, Bruce. Sorry we couldn't answer it, but I think that's the point because they don't want us to know what the hell they're doing. Yeah. So yeah. Next question, Andrew Farringcola. I believe this is a new insider. Hey, I got a question for Fan Mail Friday. What are your top trade options that are realistic to replace Rizzo, or who could you call up from the minors right now to help?
I don't think there's anyone they're looking to do that with. They're not going to replace Rizzo with a minor leaguer. And I don't know if there's a trade that they're going to make, honestly. Like, I feel like Rizzo is their guy. I feel like they're going to die with him. The option that I think exists is going out and getting a third baseman. There's a kid from the Rockies, apparently they're attached to. I think getting a third base. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think getting a third baseman is the realistic option, and then moving LeMahieu to first base would be I think that's what I see happening.
Yep. I agree with that. I think that right now, if you're going to sit Rizzo, just put LeMahieu in. He's a little better defensively, and it's just that would be.
He's going to give you a more consistent bat too. I think once LeMahieu gets it going, it'll be a more consistent bat than what Rizzo's giving you now.
I think so too. So here's a note: we have a new insider, Jordan Williams. Hi, Jordan. Welcome. You asked us a pretty in-depth question, and I didn't have enough time to prepare. So we're going to do it for next Fan Mail Friday. And I'm leaving a note here to myself on our rundown. So we're going to do it a week from today. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just, it's a complicated question. I want to give it the proper research and time to answer it for you. And welcome to the Insider Club. I'm very happy to have you. So that's really cool. You could read the next question. We're moving on to YouTube people now.
Okay. This is a little bit of a crazy question. Considering he's top 15 in slugging and OPS, second in at-bats per home run, restored some honor to the home run record, already had passed the black ink test, and will have anywhere from a conservative estimate of 380 plus home runs to a dream estimate of 430 home runs by the time he's played his 10th season. Has Aaron Judge basically clinched the Hall of Fame? Could he retire in 3 years just shy of 400 home runs and be voted in? My thoughts on this are that aside from stats, Judge passed the memorable test. We who watched, we will not forget. He has so clearly been the greatest slugger in the generation and performed unheard of feats. So if he didn't have the counting standards, he gets the edge simply because of his memorable moments in season. Absolutely not. Like that, I could literally not disagree with you more. You do not get put into the Hall of Fame because you're a memorable player.
Right.
You get put into the Hall of Fame because you put up the stats that get you into the Hall of Fame. Because
there are a lot of memorable players who are not in the Hall of Fame.
A lot of memorable players in the Hall of Fame. There's Aaron Judge is not a Hall of Famer right now. And I honestly, I hate admitting this because Aaron Judge I've loved watching him. He's going to have to, he's already been a ridiculous player. He's going to have to do some ridiculous stuff to get into the Hall of Fame in his career. And I mean that wholeheartedly. He's a great player. He's been a great player for the Yankees, but look at his career numbers. It's only because he went to college and got called up later he was 26, 27 years old when he got called up. 282 career home runs, 634 career RBIs. He's not going to sniff the Hall of Fame at this point. 283 career average. He's maybe going to get to 400 home runs. He's not going to hit 500 home runs, which is like a benchmark number for a slugger to get into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have a championship yet, right? That would mean something if he leads a championship team. Doesn't have a championship. He's probably not going to get to 1,000 RBIs. He might just squeak over 1,000 RBIs. I don't know. Stacey, you can tell me if he wins 5 more MVPs, maybe, but the odds of that happening aren't great either. I don't know. I think he came up too late in his career. He went to college. That didn't help him. And he doesn't get to be in the Hall of Fame because he signed a big contract or because he's a memorable player. There's plenty of memorable players who haven't sniffed. You know who hasn't sniffed the Hall of Fame? Tim Lincecum. The guy won 2 Cy Youngs and 2 World Series and was a superstar pitcher for a 5-year period. And that's been what Judge did.
Because 5 years isn't enough. They're always looking for 10. Like the peak is 10. That's why Mattingly isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Don Mattingly's not a Hall of Famer. Think about that. There's a lot of really, really great players that are not Hall of Famers. But you know whose power numbers are going to be way better than Judge's? Mark Teixeira.
Oh, Mark Teixeira, yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton. Teixeira did it for a longer time. I'm not saying Judge isn't a better player than Stanton or Teixeira. I think he's better than both of them at his peak. But Stanton's going to have way better numbers. Stanton's going to hit 500 home runs in his career. Stanton's already at 370, I think, 380. Stanton's high up there. Judge isn't going to snap. For him to get 500 at this point, he's 220 home runs away from that. He'd have to be absurd until he's 37. Which I'm not putting it past Judge. He's an outstanding player, but listen, you can feel differently, Stacey. I'm not saying that's the end all be all answer, but at this point, at 32 years old, he would have to have an absolutely remarkable 7-year stretch until he's 39 years old to really get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate admitting that. Is he honored in if you're talking Monument Park, there's a really good chance Judge gets into there.
Oh yeah.
But Yankee captain, great years. There's a really good chance he gets into there. But Judge hasn't won a pennant. Judge he hasn't won an AL championship yet. It's really hard for me to sit here and say that Aaron Judge is a shoo-in. He's not. I don't think he's close. And Mets fans got really annoyed at me when I made that point too, because I made the point that Jacob deGrom wasn't close to the Hall of Fame, and Mets fans lost their minds because how could you say that? He's great. He's amazing. The Cy Youngs. He's not going to sniff.
When did Jacob fans lose their minds?
And Jacob deGrom, that 2-year stretch was the greatest 2-year stretch I've ever seen a pitcher throw. He's not going to sniff the Hall of Fame. He's not that. You don't get to the Hall of Fame because he broke 62. That's amazing. He didn't shine a light on 62 because Barry Bonds still has the record at 73. Judge has the Yankee record.
Let's end that right now. Barry Bonds has the record. I don't care how many needles he stuck into his behind, how many things he put under his tongue. He was still hitting the ball. Because I bring this point up every time. May he rest in peace. Jason Giambi and Jeremy Giambi. Jeremy Giambi hit 52 career home runs, and he took steroids too. Okay. Yeah. Steroids don't make you hit home runs. You have to be a good hitter in order to hit home
steroids.
runs.
Steroids don't improve hand-eye coordination.
No.
They don't. They improve and really they don't improve how quick your muscles grow. They improve recovery. They help your muscles recover quicker.
That's
which
why
means you can
everyone was
work out
taking
more.
all that stuff. Why do you think Pettit took HGH? He was trying to
Yeah, it's exactly what Andy Pettit was doing.
recover from injuries. That's why when everyone stopped taking stuff, you were finding out about all these weird ligament injuries and got bones separating from like,
Which is a
geez,
common misconception because people think that you take steroids and all of a sudden your arm goes from this size to this size. That's not what happens. It just helps your muscles recover quicker. So now instead of having to take a day off in between workouts, you can work out literally every single day, which is what guys were doing. I hate having these arguments because it makes me seem like I'm anti-Aaron Judge. And that's not the case. But I mean, Juan Soto has about the same career numbers that Aaron Judge has, but Juan Soto's 25.
Right.
And Aaron Judge is 32. I mean, Judge got a late start. He went to college. That happens.
Yeah. Let's see. We're going to move the next question into the next segment so we have more time to answer. But thank you for that very long question, Nerd Turgeson. And we don't mean to like yell at you about this because
No. I'm passionate. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling.
We're New Yorkers. We're that's just us talking in regular. We're New Yorkers. We're also part Italian, so that's just our regular volume. Both of us, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, answering more of your questions for Fan Mail Friday. Here on Locked On Yankees, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs. It's year-round. You know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, and even seize your property. So don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax planning, or finally hit that parlay this season and need help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. You can see the link in the episode description below. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available in the free Fire TV Channels app. So, more Fan Mail Friday. I'm going to ask this question first. It's from Rivka Meiselman, 3375. How is our old friend Steve Granado doing? I will let you know right now. I follow him on Instagram and Twitter. He's doing a lot of video work and interviews and podcasting with the Springfield Cardinals. He's also calling games. He's not the play-by-play person, but he does occasional games. But he's doing a lot of awesome video content for the team, which is what they hired him for. And I told him when he said he was getting the job, I was like, you're going to kick ass at this job. And he's kicking ass at the job. So I'm very proud of him. It's really awesome. And if you guys want to check it out, go follow the Springfield Cardinals socials and look up what Steve's doing, because he's doing a really good job. It's awesome to see. So then we'll go to, you could read Martin Ober's question.
He says, hi, guys. I like Brian's suggestion. Thank you. I don't know what it was yet, but we'll find out. Sometime back regarding the Yankees trading for Mason Miller, he would definitely be a lights-out closer for them. What do you guys think about the Yankees putting together a package of Spencer Jones, Will Warren, Chase Hampton, and Clayton Beeter to obtain Miller?
That's too much.
You think so? I don't think it's too much.
No, it's too much. It's too much pitching. We can't get rid of that much pitching all the time, because we did that with the A's in 2022, and then that screwed the Yankees in 2023. So maybe a package of that many players, but not 3 pitchers. I know they're trading for a pitcher, but he's a closer. Those other guys have starter potential, and I don't want to see that. But
yeah,
that you got to take
one of those. You got to take one of Beeter, Hampton, or Warren out of that. You can't
Yeah.
You can't give all those pitchers. If you take
It's too
one of them
much.
out and add another prospect, I think it works. I think Spencer Jones has to be in the trade, though. I will say that. I don't think you're making that trade without Spencer Jones in it. I mean, if you can paint the scenario, if someone can give us in the comments a trade scenario where they can actually, a legitimate one where they could get Mason Miller without Spencer Jones being in the trade, I'm all ears. I just don't see how they get it done. I don't.
Yeah.
It seems too unrealistic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's like 22 years old. He's got team control. He throws 102 miles an hour. He's in his rookie year. There's no, you're not acquiring him for anything short of your top prospect.
Thank you for the question, Martin. And you ask us questions a lot, so thank you for that. Next up, Jim C5737. Would you risk making hard choices concerning playtime / trading Torres, Stanton, Nestor, and Rizzo if we were all in for a World Series, but risking the good vibe in the locker room? Or let things be knowing... Wait, what? Things be knowing you could really improve this team on paper by making changes.
How much do you want to improve the team? Their next win is their 50th win in June. They're going to have close to 70 wins by the All-Star break. I don't know how much improving you need. Could they improve at first base? Sure, I'll agree with you. I don't think you're trading Gleyber Torres. I don't. Going into a contract year, unless they get something great, why would they move Torres?
Right.
I don't know why they'd move him and Stanton. A, I don't think anyone's taking him. B, there's a no trade clause. And C, why would they trade Stanton? Right. He's been really good this year. I don't think there's a reason to trade Stanton, to be honest with you.
Right. The end of that question is let things be, knowing you could really improve the team on paper by making some changes.
How much more are you improving the team, though?
Yeah.
Like in reality, how much more are you really improving it? And Nestor, I love Nestor. He's not pitching in a playoff game, though. Barring some crazy injuries, he's not pitching in a playoff game. Right now, the playoff rotation is Cole, Heel, Rodon, and then your pick of it's probably just Stroman at that point, right? That's who's starting in playoff games, and that's if Stroman gets a start, right? This in the first series, it's Cole, Rodon, and Heel.
Yeah.
John Dukes 7025 says, "Who is the one Yankee that you unreasonably hated?" Thinking about the hate Gleyber currently gets. Interesting.
Did I unreasonably hate anyone? Oh, yeah.
I'll shamefully admit that I was not on the Didi Gregorius train when he first got here. I wasn't. Well, when he first got here, I hopped on the train pretty quickly after that. But I don't know if you guys remember his first 2 months after getting here replacing Jeter, he was god awful.
Well, yeah, but that happens to a lot of guys when they're replacing heroes in New York. Unreasonably hated Clemens, but only because he prevented me from going to a World Series game. I had tickets in '99, and I didn't go to any playoff games because they swept the division series. I had the 4th game. They won the ALCS they won 4-1, 4-2. What was it? 4-1, right? What the hell was it again? Yeah. Red Sox only won one game, and I had tickets for the next game. And then the World Series, I had tickets for Game 5. And Roger Clemens was up and down all season, and that's the one night he decided, hey, I'm going to pitch okay. I was the only person in Yankee fandom rooting against Roger Clemens because I wanted to go to a World Series game. So
I'm sorry. I've still never been to a World Series game, so
I unreasonably hated him for that. So I'll admit that. Ambitious Monk, this is our last question of the week. Hey, Stacey and Brian, any chance you think Giancarlo will play outfield to spell Judge / Soto for a game? I'm thinking one game every week to DH either Judge or Soto. They experimented with it in 2022, and he said he liked playing the outfield every so often. Yeah, but has he played the outfield at all this year, and has he been healthy this year? Yes. Let's keep him that way.
Is there a chance they do it? No. Would I like to see it? Yeah. He actually hit really well when he played the outfield that year. Yeah. People don't remember. He hit worse when he was on the bench, and he hit better when he was in the outfield. I don't think there's a chance they do it, though. I think he's staying as a DH the entire year. And they've proven it, too, because when they've given they gave Judge and Soto a day off earlier this week, and
they played Jahmai Jones. So that shows
they're not playing Stanton.
Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah. And again, anything that keeps him healthy and bashing 470-foot home runs,
you take.
Not 446, you take. Yeah. Quickly,
Tomorrow's
again,
game, 6:30. Or later today's game. Tonight's game. Sorry.
Tonight's game. It's tonight's game. Tonight's game, 6:30. So Boston fans have a chance to get home and watch the Celtics clinch a sweep against the Mavs in the NBA Finals. Ugh.
NBA playoffs stink.
Do we need Bill Simmons to be happy? No, we don't. We don't. Thank you, Dallas, for doing that torturous thing. So anyway, one more time. Before we end the week, don't forget, join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. We have a couple of new insiders. We mentioned them earlier. Thank you for joining. There's a link in the description. You get a 14-day free trial. You get text from us. You can text us questions for Fan Mail Friday. And if you don't want to join the Insiders Club, leave your questions under the pinned comment on our videos on YouTube Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, one more time, you can catch the Yankees hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by downloading the SXM app and searching the word Yankees. Coming up next week, recapping the series against the Red Sox. We'll preview the series against the Orioles. And then they're also playing the Braves next weekend. So this is a tough week for the Yankees and Miners Monday. It's going to be a jam-packed week. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll see you next week.